Hello there, everybody. And it looks like Faze has some drama. Just checking. I'm recording because I always got to check because there be some dumb shit that be
Alright, what's
happening.
going
But
on,
yeah, let's
everybody?
see.
Welcome back to another video here on the channel, and today we're going to be talking about Faze Rain's new video called Dear Faze Clan, which is the initial video and what I can really just kind of only call his expose that he's doing on Faze Clan. Essentially, Faze Rain has made some very serious allegations against Faze Clan, basically accusing them of not paying him what he's worth, not giving him money on brand deals, taking years to pay him the money that they've owed him, even going as far as saying in this video that they basically will not pay him what they duly owe him until he signs an NDA to not speak on anything. And so it's become a pretty major controversy surrounding Faze Clan, which has been an organization that has been popular for well over a decade now online. If you don't know what Faze is, honestly, I'm pretty surprised, but Faze Clan basically started out as like a gaming organization, right? They were known for like their trick shots and their montages and whatnot in Call of Duty back in the day. I think that's where pretty much most of us got into Faze Clan, right? Like if you weren't around back in like 2010, 2011 watching the clips of these guys, you know, jumping off the crane on high rise and just smacking crazy shots. I'll just say it this way, if you don't remember the Logic songs in their montages, man, you did not experience the peak of Faze Clan. And over time, they've kind of become like, in a way, the model organization for like an esports team, a gaming organization, and a lifestyle brand. Essentially, every group online wants to be like Faze, let's be honest here. I mean, you look at a lot of these other gaming organizations and they're trying to do and replicate the same success that Faze Clan has seen after all this time. And they've been so successful over time that the company is now actually a publicly traded stock on stock exchanges. That's how large this has actually grown. And Faze Clan has had a lot of controversies over the years,
I didn't know they had a lot.
Is the most recent one, and honestly,
The only two I really watch is Faze Destroying, because Destroying happens to be part of Faze, but I like watching Destroying, and he just happens to be part of it. And Jev. I think those are the only two I really just watch. So other than that, I don't really know about everybody else.
This one is quite interesting. Faze Rain.
And also, for some reason, I didn't think Faze members, I didn't think the Faze members made Faze. I thought it was like a company that made Faze, and then they decided to be like, oh, let's bring in these content creators and gamers, so then it would be their thing. But I didn't know
is
how
a OG member of Faze Clan. He's been around for ever, man. I mean, he's one of, like, when you think of Faze Clan and like their members, he's one of the like integral members of the group over time. Anyway, he came out with a 7.5 minute long video entitled Dear Faze Clan, where he levies some very big accusations against the group. And from what we know right now, this isn't even the most that we're gonna know. This is just like the introduction to everything here. This is basically laying some stuff out on the table so we can kind of get an idea as to what's going on, what Faze Rain's motives are in this entire thing, and basically just kind of getting the opening to this entire thing here. There should be more that comes out as more and if more information comes out in this situation. Of course, I will keep you guys updated with videos here on the channel, so if you are brand new around here and you are looking to keep up to date with everything going on online, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notifications button to all notifications so you never miss another Optimus upload. Also, if you don't mind, hit that like button down below as well. It helps this video in the algorithm and lets me know that you're enjoying the content. And with that being said, let's go ahead and get into Faze Rain's video.
So I'm making this video so I at least can explain some things before I
go into detail for detail.
I know a lot of people are saying, you're milking this, just tell us already, This is a decade-long problem, man, with a lot of legal shit around it. So now it's turned into multiple problems. It's not just the initial problem I had in the beginning, it's a lot deeper than that. And yes, I'm gonna say this now because they're probably gonna try to say, well, he's only doing this because we owe him money and he's mad. They do owe me money, yes, and they haven't taken care of me, yes, and the money that I bought the Counter-Strike team for, it took them 6 years.
And it won't pay it unless I sign an NDA to never speak on what
pay back, yes. I never got a dollar or brand deal, yes. That's all to do. They're gonna say that, and that is a frustration of mine, but I obviously held that in for years. I held that frustration in for years, and it was never the reason that I was gonna do this or speak publicly, because if they just owed me money, I would have handled it a different way. This is a lot deeper than that, and a lot of my brothers don't see the actual issue here. They are being taken advantage of.
So this was one of the things that like initially was a big thought for me, right? As I've kind of paid attention to this situation unfold, you know, a big part of me was like, well, if you have like all of this damning information and you have like all of this stuff that can kind of like really blow up FaZe Clan's whole spot and kind of expose them for doing wrong, right? Then like, why don't you just come out and say that? Why don't you come out with the juiciest bits of information, the stuff that really matters? Let us know what's going on. Talk to us, right? And of course, the issue with that, and what I didn't think, and I'm sure a lot of you who have the same thought in mind right now also didn't really consider the legal implications of just coming out and like saying stuff like this, especially about a company as big as FaZe Clan, is pretty huge, right? Like, you can legitimately be sued over shit like this. You can't just come out and say like, oh, you know, FaZe Clan's not paying me, they're doing this, they're doing that, look at what they're doing wrong, basically exposing them, and think that they're not going to come back at you legally, right? And that's been like one of the big criticisms I've seen of Rain's video so far. And while I do agree partially, like, yeah, if there really is something that needs to be said, it needs to be said, but you also have to understand, like, this is some shit that can ruin people's lives. Like, I mean, if you lose a court case like this, or you get, you know, basically flipped on like this, you are just asking to have your bank account emptied. So I understand why Rain is kind of trying to be careful and like not say too much because, well, the legal implications and everything. But of course, at the same time, that really kind of hurts the legitimacy, not only of this video, but of FaZe Rain's entire point, because people are here for the big pieces of info, right? People are here to hear the things that like are really going to make this a huge story. We're not here to hear like, oh, they still owe me money, right? Unless like it's massive. And of course, you know, you got to understand where Rain's coming from in this situation. So I will be patient. I will hear him out, but that's definitely one of the big critiques I've seen so far of this video. So
different things. I think it's beautiful, and I want it to always mean that. I don't want these people to come in and ruin the brand that I sacrificed my childhood for. I don't want people to come in and just milk it and do collab after collab that do bad, by the way, but it's just like they think the logo has a fan base. Like the logo is a person. Everyone's like, oh my god, I can't wait to see the logo. No, the logo represents a collection of people that make people feel a certain way. That's what the logo was.
So this is part of the video that really resonated with me the most, because like I said earlier in the video, right, FaZe Clan has gone from basically a bunch of dudes in their bedroom playing Call of Duty together on Xbox, you know, filming their crazy trick shots and uploading nice videos to YouTube and whatnot, to essentially like this legitimized corporation with publicly traded stock, and it's an organization at this point, right? It's not just this collective of guys who are really passionate about video games and about content creation and about doing this and doing that, right? At this point, it's beyond that. And that's what kind of sucks a little bit about this, because like, as hard as it is to say, because like I grew up a fan of FaZe Clan, right? The FaZe Clan that we grew up with, that we know and love, is simply dead. It's just not there anymore. And
I mean, Jev is still there, and Destroying's new, but Destroying's there for me.
I'm really not willing to argue about this with people. It's just objectively the truth. Like, there will never be that golden era of FaZe Clan ever again. Like, you know, once again, the moments of them on Modern Warfare 2, Xbox 360 hitting crazy trick shots with Logic's music in the background, and those moments, that nostalgia that really built in all of our lives who paid attention to FaZe Clan, that's over with. This is a company now, and at the end of the day, the only goal for FaZe Clan is to please their shareholders and make the most money possible. And for people like FaZe Rain, who are more dedicated to like, you know, the actual brand itself and what that represents and what it means to people like himself, there just isn't really room for that going forward. You know, when you're talking about these fancy suited fat cats who are on the board of directors or whatever, do you think they're worried about making the product that the fans are gonna love the most? Do you think they're worried about making those montages that we all came to know and love that really brought us into FaZe Clan and everything in the first place? Absolutely not. Like, they don't give a shit about any of that. It got them to their company to be where it is now or whatever, but like, they don't care about that anymore. Now it's about what can they do for clout? What can they do for money? What can they do to blow up, right? And that whole FaZe Clan idea is just gone. And for me personally, like, that's what really worries me about like scaling my like YouTube channel, right? I have full-time employees now. It's a lot larger than it was when I first started doing YouTube and creating content. But one thing that's always been very important to me, like building my brand, and of course it's nothing like FaZe Clan. Like I said, they're on a completely different level, but having that experience of kind of building something like that, right? The one thing that I've always tried to maintain about it is the integrity of what it is. At the end of the day, like for me, my YouTube channel is my outlet, right? It's my voice, and I want it to stay that way. And this is a perfect example of like why I don't like
Going public.
YouTubers and content creators and whatnot, 1,000,000,000% corporatizing everything
Yeah.
they do. Like, merch is cool, I get that, making your products and everything, turning it into a business, that's not a problem. But when it becomes, this board of directors shit where, you got publicly traded stocks and people who have never made a
That's why Mr. B said he wasn't gonna publicize or open up his company to shit like that, because he wants to work for himself, I guess, and not work on his channel for somebody else.
YouTube video are the ones ultimately making a decision on a brand that was started off of making YouTube videos. That's when you get into situations like this where people start feeling like they're getting fucked over and done wrong and scammed in a way, or not getting paid what they're owed. And it just complicates everything so much,
Things are probably gonna happen. Dude, I don't care what happens as long as the truth is out and people get what happened and people understand and start understanding how these industries work. I think that it's already happened in so many other industries, and I don't want to happen to this one. I think people like Aiden and Kai Cenat, they're still like giving hope. I love seeing it. Creators that are making, and Speed of course, that are making so much money without any like agency around them, by themselves. I love to see it. That is the beauty in a content creator. You don't need these fucking old people to dictate what the fuck you do and take advantage of you just for money, man. You don't. And I've always hated, I've always been against it. I don't want other people's money. I don't want investors. I don't want none of that shit.
Now, ultimately, this part is what kind of solidifies everything for me, right? Now, in this video, unfortunately, right, there's not enough objective, like, accusations or proof or anything like that, right? It's more or less like a 7.5-minute rambling video where Rain is basically just dumping all of his thoughts out into the camera, right? And that's not necessarily a terrible thing, but of course, when you're like pushing this as being like a massive expose and you're doing all these different things and you're basically going to be bringing all this information forward that you feel like people really need to know, I think it needs to be structured better. I think you need to maybe even write a script, right? Like, I know people might say, oh, that takes away from the originality or whatever of the entire thing, but if it helps you organize your thoughts and it helps you provide them in a more cohesive manner, and you can actually like basically create a better video from it by letting us know what we need to be focused on, honestly, I don't see that as an L. I don't see that as a bad thing. So in this video, it's once again just the opener to everything, right? Like, this is like the moment where you pick up the soda can and you kind of crack the top, right? And you break the seal. You get that little, this is the moment where all the buildup is kind of happening. And apparently there's more that we could/should know in the future. I don't know how the legal implications are going to play out, like what's going to happen, because I really can't imagine that FaZe Clan is going to, see this whole situation unfolding and just stand there and let it happen idly by with no sort of like fight back or anything.
Because I guess it's that
we'll
money
have to,
at stake or
really
whatever.
wait and see if Rain is actually kind of willing to take this one on the chin like he's saying he is. I mean, those legal fees, when they actually come and they serve you paperwork and whatever for the whole court case or whatever, I'm sure that suddenly things might feel a little different. I don't know. I don't know what kind of money Rain has to fight legal cases like this or whatever, but I can imagine it's got to be a pretty scary thing to take on, right? Like, it's not easy going through court for something like this, especially when there's not much legal precedent set. This industry's brand new in the grand scheme of things. I mean, FaZe Clan is like a 12-year-old company or something like that. That's just really, it's not that much time, man, like most companies you think of are like 80, 90, 100 years old. This is a new company in the grand scheme of things in an industry that's existed for max like 20 years. So there's just no real precedent set, I feel like, and that might be a big problem in this entire situation. So I'm really curious to see what else is going to come forward, and if there's going to be any real evidence kind of dragged along to prove what's going on here, or even if maybe other FaZe members will start speaking out themselves. It's something we're going to kind of have to wait and see for, and kind of see if that's going to happen. I'm definitely intrigued at this point, so if there's any more updates in this situation, I will be sure to let you guys know with an update video and bring you guys more content surrounding the situation. So with that being said, thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're...
Yeah, I thought there was going to be more info in this video, but hey, I'm curious to find out more. Love how everyone agrees that Jeff is 100% the best. True. Like, bro, we all know how scummy FaZe Clan is for years. Jeff is the only one we actually care about. Low key, I only watched 2 FaZe members, and one of them just joined FaZe. Everybody fucks with Jeff, bro. I'm telling you. What about FaZe Kitty and Agony? Yeah, him and Nadia. Nadia's in FaZe. Jeff only. Just kidding, Jeff only. Only Jeff. Nadia's in FaZe? I didn't know that. All the stuff that happened with the Save DkShadow, I wouldn't be surprised if FaZe Clan had all sorts of skeletons and saved it. What happened here? What happened with this? Did they not donate the money? Faze had nothing to do with Save the Kids. I don't know why people think they did. So it's just literally just a couple of members' ideas. Bro, you know they got skeletons, past girlfriends, tax evasion, breach of contract. What does past girlfriends have to do with tax evasion and breach of contract? I want some. Oh shit. Day Chef is probably the only Faze member I'd actually watch, to be honest. In my eyes, Jeff is the only one who's never changed. He's one who watch the only one you watch that brings back memories of the Faze of what Faze used to be. He's truly passionate about video games and is genuinely I can't talk. Entertaining unlike the rest. Reaffirms my belief Jeff is the only normal one. Bro, I like how the comments are I only watch Jeff. The only Faze member I respect is Jeff. Only Faze member I watch is Jeff. He's the last Faze. He's the last real member of Faze. Bro, this is funny. Jeff is officially the only OG Faze member Sam Plus used to still constantly play COD and make good content. Bro, that shit is just funny as fuck. Jeff is the only one everybody cares about. So yeah, like, subscribe, see you guys later. Hope you have a good day or night, and bye.